Colorado had arguably the worst quarterback play in the FBS ranks, really dating back to the end of the 2020 season when Sam Neuer's shoulder started to really give him issues. And we don't have to get into what happened at that position the last 2 years. It was very painful to watch William. And we all know at this point, we've talked about this streak a lot, that it's been 26 years since the Buffs have had a quarterback drafted. So needless to say, this fan base is starved for some solid production out of that position. In steps Shedeur Sanders, the SWAC Freshman of the Year in 2021, the SWAC Offensive Player of the Year in 2022. There's no question that he's got excellent talent, William, but are we expecting too much out of him, given that he's got to adjust to the Power 5 level?
I would say absolutely not. And quite frankly, I don't understand the question because the guy's got 2 years of extensive experience in college playing against bigger, faster guys. Is there an adjustment? Yeah. Is every secondary and defensive front he's going to see excellent? No. So yeah, there'd be some degree of he has to adjust to a new offensive coordinator, and the speed, a little bit of an increase in speed. But you know what? They weren't playing against a bunch of high school kids in that conference, and there's some really good players who get drafted down there. So I think it's unfair to say that. To take all that experience he has as a 2-year starting quarterback where he showed what he can do under pressure and kind of throw it out and say, well, he has to adjust. I don't think he'll have any problem with it. Just like some kids come out of high school and they play as 2 freshman quarterbacks and they do really well. At the end of the day, we were just talking before we started about, really the biggest thing that separates a good quarterback from just another guy with a good arm is up in the head and being able to process all the chaos out there and see what's happening in the defense, understand your offense well enough to know who's going to be open and get the ball there. And he's done that for 2 years at the college level. So I honest to God don't understand the question. I mean, I understand the question, but I guess I kind of discount it and think, no, I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Well, I guess it comes down to your expectations. If you expect Shedeur Sanders to be the best quarterback that CU's had in quite some time, I think that's reasonable. If you expect him to be first team all conference, maybe that's where expectations have gotten out of whack. When you look across the Pac-12 and Caleb Williams and Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, Cam Rising, Jaden Delora, Cam Ward are all back. And I think he can be better than some of those guys I just listed. But you've also got Arizona State, Cal, Oregon State bringing in transfers. So there's going to be a lot of really good quarterbacks in the conference. I expect him to be maybe the 5th best quarterback in the conference and then have a chance to elevate himself into that all-conference conversation in 2024.
Yeah, and I think, in all honesty, you or I could be the best quarterback CU's had in the last 6 years. But that's not a hurdle at all. But we don't need him to be the best quarterback in the Pac-12 to elevate our offense significantly because he's not going to be the only guy out there this year. He's got a much better offensive staff, should have better players at every position. What we need him to be is, like you said, if he's middle of the pack, I think we're going bowling because that's and as long as he doesn't get hurt, because it's a good quarterback league. And if he's in the middle of that group and fits in well and doing well, then we're going to do well on offense. The question mark is what happens if something happens to him. Knock on wood, let's not even say that. But I have high expectations for Shedeur, and I'm sure he has high expectations for himself, and I'm sure his father has high expectations for him as well. I know he works hard and does. He's not one of those guys that's not going to know his assignments and everything else. You can see in the videos he's a natural leader. And that's a big part of it as well. So I don't think we're expecting too much out of him at all. I mean, again, I would agree. If you think he's going to be first team all conference, that's probably not realistic. But I think he's going to be a very solid, very good Power 5 quarterback.
And behind Shedeur Sanders, it's an interesting discussion. We're going to get into that on another video because right now it's hard to say who's going to be Shedeur Sanders' backup quarterback in 2023.